Myofibers, or muscle cells, have a very specific organization, right? So remember that the myofibers, or the muscle cells, are made up of groupings of these proteins known as myofibrils. So if we have a muscle cell, right, remember that it is made up of these myofibrils. So these are small little myofibrils, and these are groupings of the proteins that are going to be found inside of the muscle cell. Okay, so if we take a look at one of these myofibrils, it's sort of a lateral view, like so. That myofibril is going to have a structure that sort of lays over top of it, which is the sarcoplasmic reticulum. And it's going to look something like this, where all these sort of little lines are cisternae of that sarcoplasmic reticulum. And the sarcoplasmic reticulum is just a specialized endoplasmic reticulum. It is smooth ER inside of a muscle cell. So remember that our smooth ER, one of the things that it does is store calcium. That's going to be very important for muscle. Okay, so we have this smooth ER, right, the sarcoplasmic reticulum that lays over top of the myofibrils. All right, so then if we take a look at a myofiber, a muscle cell, okay, so if we look at the plasma membrane of a muscle cell, there are going to be these deep invaginations inside of that muscle cell, like so, the sarcoplasm. So this is the sarcoplasm, right? That's the plasma membrane, sarcoplasm. That's the plasma membrane of a muscle cell. Okay, so what it's going to happen, right, is it's going to sort of dive deep into that muscle cell, or that myofiber. And the way that it's organized is that you have this enlarged portion, which I sort of drew here, right, of that sarcoplasmic reticulum. Okay, and you'll have the same thing on the other side over here, like this. Okay, so if we were to look at this sort of invagination of this sarcoplasm, right, it would occur right along there, so that it's situated in between adjacent terminal cisternae of the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So this right here, that enlargement, that's known as a terminal cistern. Okay? That right there is a terminal cistern. And then this deep invagination in the sarcoplasm, this is known as a T-tubule. Right? And so what you have is terminal cistern, T-tubule, terminal cistern. So those three things collectively together, right, that's known as a triad. Okay. So that is a triad of a skeletal muscle. And that organization is really, really important. Okay, so the other thing that we are going to have scattered throughout here, right, is along here, you're also going to find your mitochondria, lots of mitochondria inside of the muscle cell, as you could imagine. Okay, and then there's going to be some myoglobin inside of here, so we'll just draw those as well. Okay, so all sort of things that we're going to need for the muscle cell to operate. All right, so keep that organization in mind.